Today we are coaching a beginner student that has a Logitech G29 an entry-level wheel for sim races that is perfect for beginners, and we're gonna talk about some essential skills like inducing understeer, inducing oversteer. We're gonna go through settings and we're gonna try a bunch of times some very specific corners that the driver is struggling with. We're gonna talk about vision, rotation, track usage, and many important things that you cannot ignore if you want to drive faster, especially if you are a beginner. If you're already subscribed to my channel, you know my ritual for coaching. I watch the driver do a few laps and take notes, and then we're going to discuss the improvement points. Then we're gonna get back to him on track and try a lot of small things so he can feel the difference and know exactly how to practice after the coaching session. Remember that you can always write down in the comments what you think we are going to work on, what you think he needs to improve, and then you can edit your comment after the coaching session. For example, what do you think he can do better here? Or here.
The next corner is very hard for me. I mean,
This one?
I always on the limit of spinning. Here also,
So the double left then.
yeah. And here also.
After watching 2 or 3 laps, I started noticing the patterns and the skills that he was lacking. He was never trail braking too much. He was kind of waiting mid-corner and being a little bit kind of victim of the balance of the car instead of being in charge of the balance of the car. So that was giving me the ideas of what to work on with him today.
Oh, tricky.
Okay, I know exactly how to help you. First thing, I want to try something with the settings of your G29 because I see that you're getting a lot of clipping on your force feedback meter. We should decrease the strength a little bit. Every time you're driving and you see the force feedback getting red, you won't get any detail after that. If you're doing it mid-corner and it's already red, you're not gonna feel more precisely the oversteer mid-corner, and that's the most important place to feel it. So you want it to reach the red rarely, not all the time. It was reaching the red way too much all the time. That alone should give you a little bit more precision. I know it's gonna feel a little bit lighter, but on a straight line it's totally fine to be light. When you're starting to brake and you're starting to turn in, it's okay to be a little bit light. But the problem is like mid-corner, you want to continue feeling the differences in the force feedback, because as soon as it reaches the peak, you lose the tail. You don't get any other information.
For the double left-hander, maybe this is one reason why I find it very tricky, because I never know if I'm doing right or no. I mean, if I nail it, it's pure of luck, because I just stand it and I hope I will make it.
I know exactly why you're losing the car there. But if I just tell you without the foundation behind it, it's not going to be useful. I want to make you understand how you can replicate the reason you're losing the car there, how we can replicate that in every other corner, in every other car and track as well. I'm going to share my screen, dissect what happens on that corner. So let's really analyze that corner and why you're losing it. I think your biggest problem is not localized. It's something that can be replicated in every corner. It's a car handling thing, which is actually a good thing, because that means as soon as we solve this, it's going to help you in the entire track. When do we lose the rear?
When the rear gets lighter, so the front gets heavier.
So too much grip on the front?
On the front, yes.
Yes.
Which is what happens there, because I lift and suddenly the front gets all the grip and I start turning. But what I'm trying to do is just what you said in the last video with your student, just 1% turning. I try to turn very little, but it's not fixing my problem. I mean, it's still not something I do constantly.
So it's something like that. Let's dissect the double left. This is correct, too much grip on the fronts, but there is a very interesting way to solve your problem specifically. We lose the rear when we ask for too much rotation in a small distance. If we were to break down the corner in very small slices, your car would be able to deal with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 points of rotation. But the problem is sometimes you ask for 2 points of rotation in just one slice of the corner. And sometimes you ask for 3. As soon as you ask for 3, you spin. So,
okay, so
why though? Why are you asking for 2 points or 3 points in one spot? Well, that has a very specific reason for you. You're always losing the rear around here.
Yeah.
And that is happening because instead of doing a very big arc that fits the entire corner, what you do, you end up turning in a little bit too late, like here. And then as soon as you're here, you realize that you're gonna miss the apex. So you instinctively turn more the steering here and you lose the rear. Every time you turn in a little bit too late, you will try to make an arc that connects this bit to the apex. It looks like a small difference. Here, if you look only at the arcs, it looks like a small difference. But if you look at the size of the circles, then you can notice, oh wow, okay, actually this is a big difference. So you are trying to rotate the orange circle worth of radius, but you're carrying the speed of the red circle. And all this because you are turning in a few blinks of an eye later. Does it make sense?
Yes.
We want to get 1 point of rotation instead of 0.5 and then 1.5 and then 2 and then you lose the rear.
Okay, so I should turn more constantly, not to increase the...
No, you can still increase a little bit because your speed is gonna be decreasing, right? But you want to turn in a little bit earlier. Instead of getting 1, sometimes you turn in too gently here because you're afraid of losing the car here. So this is I call this post-slide hesitation. It's literally like you're afraid of losing the car because you have lost it there. But because you're afraid, you end up getting 0 points here. 0, 0, 0. And then now, those 3 points of rotation that you could have gotten on entry, you need to compensate that by doing 3 more points mid-corner. But now mid-corner, the car is not capable of doing those extra points anymore. So you try 2, 2, 2, and you lose the rear. In other words, you lose the car when you concentrate too much rotation in a small distance. So the solution to that, you want to spread the rotation throughout the corner instead of concentrating the rotation in just one bit. The car is able to reach that limit and you want to stay on that limit of rotation per second. You want to have like a constant micro oversteer instead of trying to avoid the oversteer on entry, but then realizing that you need to turn more and then getting the oversteer. Chase the slide, chase the rotation, but as soon as you start turning into the corner, get the rears to be used so that you spread their usage on the corner.
That means I should accelerate.
You don't have to accelerate. As soon as you start sliding a little bit, you can just do a little bit of micro corrections. If the amount of oversteer is controlled, it's just going to be a little bit of sliding on entry. You control it, and then on the middle of the corner, you accelerate with the intention of gaining speed, not with the intention of correcting the slide. That's a good thing to know. Like, try to focus the throttle is only to accelerate the car. Try to not use the throttle to control the rotation. Because as soon as you do that, it interferes way too much with your intended speeds that you're gonna carry on the corner.
And I should be as much to the right as I can for this double left.
Yes. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna be exiting the hairpin.
Yeah.
You bring it as early as possible here.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get here, your eyes should be already here. And then you turn in earlier and you already get some rotation here early. Don't hesitate. This is it. Don't hesitate. Basically, if you hesitate on entry, you're gonna lose the car mid-corner. Because what we do when we are a little bit late is we are looking at the apex here and instinctively you're gonna add more steering and you're gonna lose the car. That's the biggest danger, is when you turn in late, you instinctively turn more. No matter how hard you try to not turn, it's gonna feel terrible to miss the apex. And when you're chasing the delta, you see the delta's green, you look at the apex, oh f it, I'm gonna turn. And then you turn and lose the rear. The initial conditions here are gonna make a big difference in how safe the corner is gonna be. But this is gonna take 5-6 laps to figure out. So take your time, just reflect on that, spread the rotation, spread the rotation. Try to get a little bit more rotation on the initial turn in. And then, yeah, keep it sliding all the way into the exit. Yeah, you're not bringing it all the way to the white line before the first left-hander. You have to bring it all the way to the white line. Try to late apex the hairpin.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have a line that you can carry a lot of speed on exit while having the line more to the inside. Late apex the hairpin and then all the way to the white line before the left-hander.
Okay.
Yes, more rotation on entry. It should feel like that. It should feel like the car is floating, sliding a little bit. Late apex, but make sure you use the curb on the inside on the second half. Yes. There you go. Don't be afraid of turning more the steering overall. I think you're being afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. Look at how much rotation you have. Let's try forcing. Let's try to identify where you lose the car and why. Good job. You're not using the track still. Let's do something here real quick. Stop the car here. Now go to the right and touch the white line and stop the car with the car touching the white line here. More. Do you think that's the limit?
I think so, but with the edge of the tire, not with the middle of the tire.
Move very slowly. And then start going right very slightly until you hear that you're on top of the grass. Okay, now get out of the now you're on the grass. Get out of the grass. Go a little bit faster so you can hear the sound. Okay, so keep doing this test. Do the same thing here.
Okay.
Same thing here. See? Not using the grass. Now the white line is aligned with the nose of the car in your view here. And you were still not using the grass.
Yeah.
Do the same thing on the left here. See? Not using the grass.
Okay.
So what does that tell you? See? Not using the grass. Go more. Not using the grass still. Now you are.
No.
So exactly. So you can align the white line with the edge of this straight bit of your nose here that you can see. You see?
Yeah.
And that's still not using on the track. So that should be your reference, because you're not using on the track. You think you are, and you're losing time on the double left after the hairpin. You're losing time here. You're losing time on all corners because you're always leaving a little bit too much space. Let's try that. See? You're far from using the track here. Let's do that again. Change the delta to the all-time best.
Just a second.
Okay. Not using the track. Already better. Yes. Look at the delta.
But this is very hard because I now I'm looking to the right when I should aim for my turning point.
You will get used to it. You will get used to it, and you're gonna look at it for a fraction of a second. You're gonna know where you are, and you're gonna be free to look to the apex. Right now it feels weird because it's a new thing. Turn. All the way to the white line. Not enough.
Yeah, I know, not enough because I am too afraid here
Yeah.
of this corner.
You're in
In my
practice.
nightmares.
You're in practice. Try
Yeah.
to abuse it. Make mistakes. Spin, crash. Nice track usage here. See the difference? Auto track, auto track, auto track.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh, good. Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so here, this corner here, you can touch 5% throttle to correct it. Even off brakes, even 0% brakes is still getting too much rotation. So in this corner, when you start turning, what you can do is induce understeer on purpose by touching the throttle and increasing the steering. Increasing, you see, not decreasing. Yeah, you're gonna, when you, before you lose the rear, you're gonna increase the steering and touch the throttle 10% or 5%.
Okay.
Do you know how to induce understeer? Let's do all the corners now with heavy understeer just for the test. So you're gonna move the weight all the way to the back and you're gonna turn the steering a lot. So you're gonna turn the steering a lot and have like 5-10% throttle just to move the weight. Exactly. But let's do that in a low speed so you can understeer and still do the corner. Not enough. Turn more the steering. Don't be afraid. Turn, 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 turn. More. It's like 180 degrees. It's like excessive understeer just for the sake of testing. So turn the steering a lot and accelerate 10%. No, 100% is gonna make you. It might work because the car doesn't have a lot of power, but it might make you spin as well. So it has to be low percentage of throttle. It has to be like 10%, 15%, and then you keep that so it's like really sliding the front tires. Yeah, there you go.
Saw that.
Do that again.
Yeah, I saw that.
You need to be a little bit faster so you can do this exercise while at the same time staying on the track. So carry a little bit more speed. I'll try it here.
I don't know.
Try on the next corner. Let's keep trying that. You're gonna make it work. Like 60% throttle, 50% throttle. Turn. Yes. You see?
Yeah, I see now.
Yeah, I said 10%, but I think for this car, because it doesn't have a lot of power, it has to be a little bit more. Let's do the same thing on all the corners now. Let's do the entire lap understeering on purpose. Same thing here. Same thing here. Let's keep doing that up to a point you're still doing the racing line while understeering. Yes. And then here. Nice. Yes, okay. One more lap of that. Nice, full control.
A little bit wide.
You see that corner, the left-hander?
Now I understand.
Exactly.
That, yeah.
You were
That's
afraid of
amazing.
spinning, and now you're able to turn more the steering and be safe. See? So it's a very useful tool. Now we're gonna do the opposite. On the next lap, we're going to spin on purpose. So I want you to try to spin the car for me. Thinking.
Okay.
Try to spin while staying on the track. Carry the same speed you would carry. Maybe a little bit more, but not too fast. Okay. Again?
Yeah, I know this from your last video.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Again?
I think I will nail it.
Perfect. You nailed it. You nailed it. Now, you're gonna begin with that understeer, but then over, but then do under on the middle of the process.
Okay. So
yes. You start with the over, and as soon as you get the sliding, do it understeer. Make it understeer. Perfect. Perfect. You nailed it. You nailed it. Do that again on turn 1. Remember that you have to accelerate less. If you induce the oversteer on the beginning of the corner and then you smash the power, you will have more wheel spin and it's gonna make you finish the spin. So, what you want to do is when the car is sliding, you have to accelerate very lightly to shift some weight to the rear tires and then catch the slide and then make it understeer. But yeah, never countersteer. It's only more steering to induce the excessive under. You're overslowing a little bit. When you overslow, you cannot do the exercise.
Because I'm trying to spin on brakes like this.
Yes, you did it again. You got over initially, and then you converted it into under on the middle of the corner. Don't be afraid of turning more. As soon as you get it, you get the slide, turn the steering 180 degrees to the inside. Turn. You're afraid of turning the steering. That's why it's difficult. It's not super clear for you yet. More steering, even more steering and less power. You're accelerated too much. You got the understeer, but not enough over on initially.
Yeah.
Okay, close, but it was too subtle. Too much power. Every time you lose the rear, you accelerate 100%. It's not 100, it's 50, 40, and then more steering. I know this feels like stupid, but it's really gonna make you have so much more control of the car. Let's try a few more times. There you go. It was subtle,
yes,
but it was correct. You did it right. Oh yeah, you got into the point of no return. If you go too much, you can't save it anymore. There you go. Do you feel the over becoming under?
Yes, yes, I feel. Now. Yeah.
Now let's do something just for fun. Start with under and then mid corner, spin the car. But remember, you're gonna spin with the brakes. So initially it's a little bit of throttle and loss of steering, and then you're gonna touch the brakes and use less steering to spin the car. This is very complicated. Less brakes. It's less brakes and less steering. If you brake too much, you're gonna lock the front and go straight.
Okay.
It's like 20% brakes. 20, 25. Too much brakes. Too much steering. This time you kept the same amount of steering, but if you want to spin, you have to decrease the steering. You have to unwind it, and then the brakes will work. Yeah, but that was 0% steering. It has to be a little bit of steering still. There you go. There you go. I mean, you didn't spin, but I felt the under initially and then over after. There you go. There you go. Now let's forget everything and just drive. Okay, now let's spin on purpose by adding 10% brakes when you turn in here. Oops, that was the grass. It didn't count. See how easy it is to spin?
It's very easy.
So that's exactly what you were afraid of. But now we're gonna use something that I always say. If you can cause it, then you know how to prevent it. If you know how to cause it, you know how to prevent it. So let's spin a few more times, and then next time try to turn in with 0% brakes. So let's spin once more here. Okay, let's go again.
Easiest thing of my life.
Next time we're gonna do 0% brakes. Remember to use all the track on the right. You see, it was much slower. Now do that again. 0% brakes, you turn in, and then when you get towards the apex, when you feel that you're starting to lose it, you're gonna squeeze the throttle to induce the understeer. So you're gonna correct the oversteer with the throttle. Yeah, but it has to be a little bit of throttle, otherwise you're gonna go too fast. Yes! Again.
Same here.
Same here, yeah. So when you're off throttle, the car is gonna point, it's gonna want to rotate, and then as soon as it starts oversteering too much, a little bit of power, which matches the exit. So the power will actually accelerate the car out of the corner too. There you go. Same thing again. Perfect. You're still not using all the track. Let's do it again. Go all the way to the white line before you turn in. Perfect. So if you turn in too late, that happens. Remember on the beginning of the session, if you turn in too late, you feel as if you're losing the apex, so you instinctively turn more and you lose the car. That's why turning late is dangerous. Same thing here, you see?
Again, yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Too late. There you go. Like, you touch the throttle a little bit there to control. Yeah, you see? Think about the inducing understeer, inducing oversteer things, and then you're gonna use these tools when you get used to them. What I want you to do is for you to not be afraid of oversteer, and you know how to, and for you to know how to cause them. Let's forget everything and do a few laps. Use the curb on the inside in the next right-hander.
Five.
Oh, good. Nice. That was perfect correction. Perfect correction there. You see, you throw the rear and then you catch it with the throttle. You throw it with the brakes and steering and then you catch it with the throttle. You're consistently throwing, catching, throwing, catching.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your homework. There are many things that affect the rotation of the car that we have not mentioned, like the way the car behaves on elevation changes, subtle changes in camber as well on the track, and also the engine braking. I would strongly recommend that you go through the motor racing checklist and because I think you already know more or less how it feels to induce the understeer, how it feels to induce the oversteer. But if you go through the course, there's going to be like a bunch of explanations of the same thing through different lenses, through different angles, different perspectives. It would just validate and reinforce a bunch of stuff that we worked on today, but with a lot more detail.
Okay.
Let me know after a few laps how much you improved in your lap times.
My goal for this was to reach the 127, which I saw everybody does.
Did you
Can I
open the
ask
test
you-
session with exactly the same temperatures, conditions?
I just went for test drive, so I guess.
Oh,
it's
let's go back to info, see the track temperature. Okay, so it's 31 degrees, 73% RH. So how does this work? The air temperature, the higher, the worse lap times. The track temperature, the higher, the worse lap times. And the RH is the relative humidity. So the higher, the worst the lap times. So
Okay.
if you're doing an official week right now at Okayama and it's actually say 20 degrees track and 20 degrees air, that's already 1 second per lap.
Okay, but it shouldn't be the same because I went to the series and I didn't go register for race. I went to test drive.
The skies are dynamic right now. So you see it's 9 a.m. and you've been testing for almost 2 hours. So you started the session at 7 something. Probably the track was much colder when you started practicing. It's probably
okay.
5, maybe 10 degrees hotter right now.
Okay.
So
I
the
didn't,
track was
know
getting
that.
slower as we were doing the coaching session.
Okay, I didn't know they change over time. I thought if they post it for this week, it will be the same the whole week.
No, it is the same, but every time you load the session, the temperature gets worse during that practice. So if you quit right now and you open a new session, it's gonna start at 7 a.m. and the track is gonna be much faster. I think if you practice 1 more hour thinking about all this and then test with a colder track, you're gonna beat your lap time. Easy. We hit all the weakest spots right now for you, and as soon as you work on these things, your lap times are gonna go much better.
Okay, thank you very much, Suellio.
Thanks, man. Have a good practice.
See you.
Bye-bye.
The worst thing you can do with your driving technique is to drive again and again and again and again and again and again and again without knowing what you're practicing. Whatever you do and you repeat, your body does not know what's right or what's wrong. It just learns that and starts to solidify that technique in your own muscular memory. This can be terrible because if you're creating bad habits, you're literally making them stronger and more difficult to fix in the future. It's very common to see people investing so many thousands of dollars in equipment, but at the same time not investing in their own driving techniques. And that's where I get in. I've been working as a coach since 2019, and since then we have sold over 2,000 courses, a best-selling book, and over 2,000 coaching sessions one-to-one. And I've developed a program and a set of concepts that will help you know exactly what you're going to practice, what you're going to chase, and how you're going to get there as fast as possible in the most efficient way without creating bad habits. So here's my guarantee. If you don't improve in 30 days, you'll get your money back. I'm saying this because I'm confident, I've seen the results. So many people are improving so much quicker. Just imagine getting 3 months of experience and actually driving faster than people who have been driving for years. It's totally doable. You just need to do it the right way. And I'm here to guide you through all this with my new online course, the Motor Racing Checklist 2.0. You will not regret it. I promise. If you have any questions, just send me a message.